Care doesn't need softness to be real. So let me ask you, are you truly living your life, or are external forces controlling your capabilities?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off and the clock has started.
When we're finished here, I want you to go sit in a quiet room, stare at a blank wall, and think about that question for 1 full minute. No phone, no distraction, just you and the truth. Give it a shot. Good day to each and every one of you bright, shining souls, wherever you are, and welcome to BalanceFIT Radio. Conversations on strength, meaning, and the human experience. I'm your host, Scott Schroeder. This voice will never be AI generated. I don't care what's going on out there. I don't care what the trends are. It will always be me here, y'all. Imperfect and made of human DNA. This right here, this is a small slice of the communication landscape where fitness meets psychology, philosophy, and real life, because true wellness is about more than just the body. It's about balance. Let's get into it. Now, I'm going to go through some stuff here in a second, but I need to lead you into something. If you work in the allied health industry, or you're a fitness professional, you probably know these stages. When someone, let's put it this way: the stages of a fitness regimen, let's say, start with pre-contemplation, and that means you are unaware or uninterested in changing your fitness habits. You just don't care. You're just doing your thing, and you're not even thinking about it. You are just cruising, or so you think. Now, contemplation comes next, and you're aware, you're feeling it. You're like, something's got to change. I got to do something, but you're not taking action yet, which leads to the next step, which is preparation, which is you planning to take action. So you're buying gym clothes, maybe you're getting your gym membership, or, buying some equipment, or, talking to people, things, stuff like that. But you're moving towards it. You're taking real actions, even though the next stage is called action. And that's where you're actively engaging in new fitness behaviors. You're going to the gym, you're doing your workout, you're walking, you're doing your thing, and nutrition. And then maintenance is sustaining that, and sustaining it for over 6 months. So I say all that to say this: when people in the pre-contemplation stage of sensible well-being, and remember, that's to say that they aren't contemplating sensible well-being, when those folks engage with me about fitness, nutrition, and health, I tend to hear two very common and related narratives. The first usually sounds like some version of, life's too short not to enjoy it. YOLO, baby! And what that almost always means is food, drink, intoxicant, and movement choices. And the second sounds like, it's my life, it's my body, I do what I want. Now, before anyone gets cranky and defensive on me, listen to my words. There's truth in both of those statements. Life should be enjoyed rather than endured. You're going to hear me say that a million times, and you've probably already heard me say it quite a few. And yes, it is your life. It is your body. But here's the problem. Both of those ideas are often used as shields against responsibility instead of invitations to wisdom. There are a few things I hold foundational in my core. Among them are these two truths which must exist together. First, life should be enjoyed rather than endured. There it is again. So engage in activities that bring you authentic joy. Second, you have responsibilities. And there are people who love you and need you. There are people you haven't even met yet, or may not even be alive yet, who will love and need you. Those two truths are not in conflict. The plain fact is, they very much depend on one another. You were put here and given that body machine to serve something greater than yourself. That doesn't mean you're a martyr. It means you matter. So the question becomes, are you capable? The stuff you put into your body, is it serving you, or are you serving it? The way you spend your time, is it restoring you or eroding you? And where will you be in 10, 20, 30 years if you continue down your current path? Here's the thing most people don't want to hear. If you ignore it, your health will not remain a stable, comfortable plateau until one day you just, boom, you're dead. Drop dead with a smile on your face. That ain't how it works. What actually happens is a slope, a slow, gradual decline into inflammation, pain, immobility, chronic disease, and eventually dependence on medication and on other people. And it doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly, incrementally, while you're busy living. So the real question isn't, can I get away with this today? The real question is this a trade I'm willing to make? Is trading a few controllable, practical lifestyle adjustments like food, alcohol, drugs, and digital consumption today worth 10 or 20 years of your life defined by discomfort, limitation, and dependence if you keep doing what you're doing? That's not fear-mongering. That is existential math. Here's an idea that tends to reorient people when they really sit with it. Make some manageable sacrifices now to take care of future versions of you, because here's the truth. You are not a static character in your own story. You will not be the same person 2, 5, 10, or 20 years from today. That future version of you will, if you do this right, have more patience, more wit, more wisdom to share, and more love to give. So set them up for success. Don't burden them undoing today's wreckage. Don't saddle them with injuries, habits, and damage that could have been avoided with just a little foresight. Frederick Douglass said, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now that truth applies across the entire human lifespan on a sliding scale. The younger you are, the easier it is to course correct. But it's never too late to start building strength instead of managing damage. Your nutrition, exercise, lifestyle habits, and daily decisions are not an existential flatline through time. They aren't neutral or static. They're a slowly sloping plane. And that slope can point upward or downward. It can rise to joy and fulfillment or fall to pain and misery, all based on the agency of your individual free will and what you choose to do with it. Every choice nudges the angle just a little. And here's where this widens beyond the body. What are you doing with your free time? Because wellness doesn't stop at the skin. Know what I mean? We live in an age of digital consumption that is both a blessing and a curse. With that little handheld glowing god of mental sawdust we call a phone, we carry all the collective knowledge of human history, everything ever known, all the knowledge, art, and wisdom right in our hip pockets. And with that very same tool, we have access to unimaginable evil, distortion, and psychological manipulation wrapped in a shiny little package designed with the same psyop tricks as a slot machine with one goal: keep your eyes on the screen. There's an old idea that says that which you gaze upon, you become. Your focus shapes your character shapes your destiny, and your destiny shapes reality. What you consistently observe, you internalize. What you internalize, you imitate. And what you imitate, you eventually manifest. In other words, the body becomes a physical representation of what the mind absorbs, and the spirit thrives or dies along that path. So take care of your mind and your spirit and your body, because none of them function properly in isolation. They're meant to work in harmony. We used to say there were no shortcuts to great things. Anything worthwhile requires sacrifice and time and max effort. That's the essence of humanity. Now, pharmaceutical science has given us shortcuts to weight loss and focus and calm and all the things we desire. And listen, I'm not here to demonize medicine, but this isn't Hippocratic service. This is all about making you a customer for life. And here's the question no one seems to be asking loudly enough. At what cost? Are you considering the side effects for future you? Are you trading one problem for 3 others down the road? Because your focus should not be on skinny or jacked or whatever the socials are telling you. It should be on being well in a fully functioning body. And wellness, real wellness, requires work, discipline, and sacrifice, which, as I mentioned, are some of the foundational elements that give life meaning. And whether you consciously recognize it or not, meaning is the very focus of life. Everything else, it's decoration, it's stuff, filler, window dressing. If you want to improve the slope of your whole wellness, there are a few domains worth honest examination. Nutrition, sleep, fitness, service, human connection, digital consumption, intoxicants. How are we doing with all that? Are we in balance? You know, none of these exist in a vacuum. They all need to be aligned with your concept of future you. So here's a simple exercise. Take a few minutes, pen and paper, notes app, it doesn't matter, and write down who you hope future you becomes. Not a polished paragraph, just fragments. This is for you. No one else will ever see this. I'm willing to bet that for 99% of you, it sounds something like this: strong, present, capable, patient, useful, calm, resilient. Now ask yourself honestly, are the decisions and actions of today you aligning with the version of you that you say you want to become? That question alone has the power to change everything. You don't need to make galactic sweeping changes overnight, and you shouldn't be thinking like that anyway. That approach is usually unsustainable and often driven by guilt or overestimation. Instead, put your feet on the floor in the morning and commit to making one decision about one element of your life that moves you 1% closer to a better version of you. That's it. 1%. Those tiny adjustments compound in ways you cannot see day to day, but cannot escape over time. And that brings us back to the arc of this whole conversation. Today's choices are not a flat line through time. They form a slope. That slope can lead upward towards strength, freedom, and capability, or downward toward limitation, dependence, and regret. You have a lot of life in front of you. And whether you've been told this or not, you have far more control over how it unfolds than you've ever been led to believe. Understand and be mindful of the things you put into your body machine and move it with alacrity and intent before you can't. And feed your mind the same way. Less garbage, fewer toxins, and more meaning. Cultivate your spirit in kind through service and grace to others. Put your damn phone down every now and again. Eat some whole foods and go lift something heavy. Do it with the knowledge that making yourself better makes the space around you better, and that makes the world better. Take care of future you today, because people love you. People need you. And there ain't nothing you can do about that but spend your life becoming more capable of bearing that responsibility. Thank you for spending some time with me today on balanceFIT Radio. If this conversation resonated with you, please, by all means, share it with someone who might need it. Let me leave you with this thought. Pain is unavoidable. Meaning is fundamental. Responsibility is the lever. Balance is the stabilizer. Until next time, keep moving, keep thinking, keep exploring, and remember, your life, your potential. Peace out, homies, and I'll see y'all next time.